Eagle Eye Podcast. The #1 show to bring you all things Club América in English. From tactical analysis
Pelota para la banda izquierda.
to player updates. We've got you covered on all the latest news on Las Águilas. Now, let's start the show. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast.
Eagle Eye Podcast here live from State Farm Stadium. It is halftime. America 0, Chivas 1. It has not been the best of matches for Las Águilas del América. An early goal to kind of really set the tone for America here. It's been frustrating to say the least for America going forward and in the defense. I think it's just been one of those games where America's just a little bit all over the place. And, I mean, to be honest, it goes to show kind of the reality that America's starters and bench, they seem to have maybe a world apart. And honestly, I was hoping that some of these players would have taken their opportunity a little bit better. I mean, you're looking at players like Davila, like Igor Lichnowsky, like Violante, who are a little bit in the fringes of things, and we want to see them do better. We want to see them perform. But at the moment, they're just not really giving us exactly what we've wanted to or have intended for them to be seen. We're about to see the halftime performance here by Banda MS, and hopefully we don't get copy striked for the background noise. But in the mix of all of that going on, I guess really honestly, if you're watching this at home, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not been a good game. It's not been a matchup in where you think, okay, we'll see, and America potentially bounce back in the second half and this and that. Yeah, the reality is we don't know if that's going to be the case. With all these substitutions that are foreseen for the future, will these youngsters step up and make the comeback? I'm not too sure. But the reality is hopefully this America side can pick it up. It's not looking good for Jardine. I mean, who can you really bring on? The youngsters aren't necessarily going to be the answer to your solutions, but I guess that's the frustrating thing about all of this. But let me just show you guys a little bit of what's going on in behind the scenes type of situation. There you guys can see the stadium in full force tonight. A much better crowd, even though a couple of them kind of stood up already and on their way to go to the restroom or pick up a halftime snack. But you guys can kind of see the clock over there. We're about just a little bit under 9 minutes here before we return back to the action on the pitch. But yeah, that is our situation right now. Let me switch back here to myself. Any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll try to get to all of you guys. Adam saying big up, Adam. Hopefully you're enjoying the game, Adam. It's been a decent game, I'll say that. If anybody in the Instagram wants to leave a comment, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, wherever it is that you're watching this, let us know. It'd be great to get to hear from you guys, so that way I don't ramble on too much. But I mean, if you had to sum up this game in the first half, the first 45 minutes, it's been decent from America for the most part. I mean, if it wasn't for that goal that America concedes, then you're probably looking at a different matchup. Look, America's had their opportunities, but they've been very, very wasteful in the final third. You look at Brian Rodriguez, who's been lights out and probably the best player in America right now, who's had a few chances here and there, just hasn't really made it through and put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, their keeper's having a good night. But really, honestly, you have to take your chances. You have to be concrete, and you can't take anything for granted, especially in a Clásico, right? And I know we talked about this. This game should not hold that much weight. At the end of the day, though, it's still a Clásico. There's no such thing as a friendly when it comes to playing Chivas. And whilst we don't want to kind of hinge on how important the result here would be. It's like we talked about before the game kicked off, the importance of keeping rhythm and the importance of keeping momentum going into the game against Cruz Azul. It's important, right? And I think that's why you see the starters get the opening minutes, just so that they can continue to have that rhythm, play at a good upbeat tempo. But still, it would have been nice if they gave something for the fans to go home with and kind of relish. So that's the unfortunate part about it. But we're down to 6 minutes and 30 seconds here before the players are due to return for in the second half here. Let's see. Adam saying my thoughts on the first half. I think I just kind of went through and rambled about it. And I'm saying, and what about an open play, you think? The performance on open play, I think it's been decent from America, you know. They're relying a little bit too much on the counterattack, which I don't think should be the end-all, be-all tactic for America in this game. I get it that we do have pace. We do have players that can, you know, utilize spaces. But you don't necessarily need to do that when, this is a Chivas side that really isn't threatening you much going forward. So you're going to have avenues, you're going to have channels. You just have to find a way to open up those spaces. And I know we don't have technically the most creative players out there right now on the pitch, but the players who are in that midfield need to find a way to kind of cut through the defense and really give Davila, Violante, Brian these chances to kind of run through the channels and get themselves in good positions in the final third to either deliver a good cross or take on a player and shoot in the box. So that's what we'll see. Adam saying they need to be more clinical in the final third. I agree. Kind of echoing what I had just mentioned. You need to be clinical. You need to be, out there and doing your thing. Shout out to my boy Hector, to my cousin out there. Love you, brother. Yeah, I mean, we're down to the last 5 minutes here. Do I expect this America side to come out here and flip the game on its head? Not necessarily. Like I mentioned, the youngsters coming into this game have a golden opportunity to make a real name for themselves if they're able to do so. If they're able to flip this game on its head, if they're able to score a couple of goals, and if they're able to walk away with a victory here, it'll be hands down on them. And that's a golden opportunity in that sense. But again, it's a tall task in many ways. So we'll see what they're made out of. I think Jardine got what he wanted from his players in the first 45 minutes, which was getting some game rhythm. That way they can still go into the game against Cruz Azul with some competitive minutes behind them. And that's going to be the real test. Right now it's just a matter of keeping everyone healthy and safe. And hopefully, by the grace of God, we're able to find a goal, because right now it's not looking very, very likely. So yeah, let's see what the second half has in store for us. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the coverage. I hope you guys have been liking what we've been putting out over on our Twitter, Instagram, and these little lives that we do prior to the game, and of course at halftime. It's good to kind of get your guys' thoughts, get your guys' comments, and it's good to see, I guess, a little bit behind the scenes for you guys as well. It's always great to kind of peel back the curtain for you guys and show you a little bit of our perspective. But yeah, to all of you at home, I hope you guys continue to enjoy. I hope you guys continue to have a good time. We are 3 minutes out from start of the second half. I'm assuming players will be coming out shortly. So I think to all of you guys who were in here, who were in the chat, who were talking, thank you guys for everybody that joined and watched. Hope you guys had a good time. And, we'll be back next week to talk all things Club America, so make sure you guys are following us and follow the podcast as well. That way you guys stay up to date, and it should be a good conversation because there's a lot of America to talk about ahead of the Clásico Joven, which is huge, just super, super huge, coming around this time so late into the season. But with that said, you guys hopefully enjoy the second half. Hopefully America's youngsters find a way to turn this game around and give us something very, very good to walk away from this matchup. But this has been Ivan from State Farm Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful time. Take care. Enjoy the matchup. And we'll see you guys next week on the podcast. Until then, take care. And as always, Arriba la América.